Okay, everything is done. Dr. Sujata, I'm starting right now. Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Hi, hello, namaste, sat sri akal to everyone. Today we have our virtual meet and our uh, slogan is power is gained by sharing knowledge, not hoarding it. Today is Saturday, 18/2024, and time is 8 o'clock PST, Pakistan Standard Time. We welcome you, those who are connected through YouTube and those who are connected via uh, Zoom meeting. Actually, let me share HR WALAY virtual meet about. I have initiated this segment in 2021 April, keeping in mind the market needs for virtual learning opportunities. Our aim is to provide a platform where senior professionals can share their knowledge and expertise with the audience, enabling them to learn from the comfort of their homes. Our virtual meet is based on interactive methodologies and the latest best practices delivered through cutting edge virtual platforms. Our expert speakers cover a range of topics that cater to the needs of professionals across industries. At HR WALAY Virtual Meet, we believe that learning is a continuous process and we are committed to providing opportunities for individuals to enhance their skills and knowledge. Join us today and take our professional skills to the next level. You can join us through our different platform, which is LinkedIn, YouTube, uh, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And or if you live in Pakistan, then you can visit us. Just you need to type HR WALAY in Google search box, and there you go. You will have our complete profile, our address, our postal address, our website, our Google map, our institute picture, and event updates. You can find it up there. So today's virtual meet, the topic is very much interesting and it's a true story. And the experience which the speaker has experienced with herself through her learning and life journey activates success in peace building. Today's session norms for your information is you need to try to be quiet and well lit so that we can develop a well lit environment. Use your headphones, keep your microphone muted unless you want to ask a question. Raise your hand and ask questions when given a chance. All participants will be kept mute during the session. Internet connection we cannot help enough, but if it is happening, so please try to avoid distracting the place. Political or religious based arguments are not allowed. Hope the above tips are helpful. Enjoy your online learning experience with us, HR WALAY in HR family. Dr. Sujata, today's speaker. Let me share something about her. Dr. Sujata is a PhD doctor. Is proud to have a daughter of Indian immigration immigrants who came to a Western hemisphere for educational and employment opportunities. She is currently the president of Maryland Career Development Association 2023, 2023 and 2024, where she is also the newsletter editor. She is the chair of International Committee of American Counseling Association 2023-2024, community coordinator for the World Council on Global and Intercultural Competency, UNESCO, and a co-chair of programming at the Asia Pacific Career Development Association. Sujata was awarded the 2023 Diversity Initiative Award by the National Career Development Association. Wow. In the same year, she was designated 2020 Global Visionary for Otro Mondo, 6th Congress, Colombia, South America, where her keynote speech stated that the impossible can be possible. Sujata passionately supports interculturalism and believes that cultural adaptability must be integrated into leadership styles. This year, she conducted a need analysis through a year-long study in NCGA's Leadership Academy that yielded significant information on intercultural leadership responsibility. As a result, she decided to publish a book entitled Active Success: Tips, Tools, and Insights to Be a Leader in Your Niche. That will be available on Amazon on 15th of May this year. It has already been started, mashallah, and I congratulate Dr. Sujata for this wonderful launch. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge through this book. Sujata has her GCGFI and OWDSI certifications from the for the complement employment, counseling, and career development niche. She has 25 years of professional experience in higher and secondary education, business, and private practices. Through 18 global military dependent moves on 3 different continents, professional writing and publishing through a myriad of empirical publication, she is a global inspiration for national and international audience. This is wonderful introduction to Dr. Sujata Ives, and I wish you good luck and hand it over to you. Thank you so much for joining us, listen to us, and here we go. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohammed Basit Rana. It is a pleasure, it's a joy to be here this morning as a multicultural, intercultural, bicultural immigrant that migrated to the United States with her parents in search of the American dream, those educational opportunities to share. And as you say, not hoard. So this is very important. I'm here for knowledge sharing, not hoarding. So let's get started. I'm going to share screen now. Okay. So I'm here to activate success, to show you how to activate success. So I'm here to show you how to activate success through building peace in your workplaces as well as in your personal life. Thank you so much to Mohammed Basit for giving me such a great introduction. One of the things that I'm very proud of is to bring my female and bicultural experiences to the table. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So when I was thinking about having this candid conversation, this discussion with you this morning, I pondered these questions. If everyone in this world wants peace, then why is it taking so long to create that peace? So for me, in my brain, this is the head brain, this is the heart brain. For me, this question came because my head brain and my heart brain were not matching. So I wanted the answers and went forth looking for them. What will it take from me? Because everything in life starts with you. You are the one walking into the room. You are the one walking into the workplace setting. So it starts with me. It starts with you at the individual level. So we may not be able to control this world. We may not be able to control these external events that happen in situations, but we can absolutely introduce ourselves to the workplace and to our personal lives as builders of peace. You see? So what will it take from me, from us, to activate that building of peace in work as well as our personal lives? So on the left-hand side of the screen, you see this blue square. This is taken from the United Nations SDGs. How many people here are aware of the SDGs? Please write in the chat. So there are 17 different SDGs that the United Nations General Secretary has put forth. And guess what? He has given us a time limit as HR people, as employment counselors, as career developers. We know how important goals are. So he has given us these 17 goals. We know also that we have to meet timelines and deadlines and goal setting. So guess what? He has given us a deadline. That deadline is 2030. So what can we do at 3 different levels? So throughout this presentation, please think 3 levels. At the individual level, what can be done? At the team level, what can be done? And at the organizational level, what can be done to create peaceful workplaces, peaceful lives? So here you see SDG number 16. Now, 17 is partnerships. That falls into the team category and the organization category. So we must start with these SDGs. Number 16 is peace and justice and strong institutions. We have to make ourselves strong at the individual level, at the team level, and at the institutional, organizational, and company levels. Why should we do this? Why care? Well, the answer is this. We must do this for the next 7 generations. We must care for our children, for our families, so that they can have sustainability for the next 7 generations. That's why. So, with that background, I started looking for many answers. And I started looking at different books, and I was not finding the answers that I couldn't find the answers that I was seeking. So guess what? I decided to write a book myself, and I wanted to show this world that I could collaborate in a team of 2 people. So I asked my dear colleague to also write this book with me. So we came up with our perspectives, and our research showed that there were 3 pillars for peace building. As I said before, it starts with you first. It starts with me first. So the very first pillar is self-discovery. We are constantly evolving. Just think about what changed in 24 hours for you. Who did you meet? What did you do? How did your thinking change? Our brain is constantly thinking, judging, perceiving, it doesn't go to sleep. So we must begin with the self. So that we knew absolutely and agreed 100% on this. So 1/3 of the book we spent on self-discovery. How can you improve yourself first before trying to improve this world or before trying to change others, which we cannot. We can only change ourselves. The second pillar that was very, very important is change. But here's the thing about change. Nobody likes it. Everybody is so set in their ways, right? So if I give you a simple example, like change the placement of your trash can, it will cause havoc in your life. A very simple thing, whether it's the trash can is in your office or in your kitchen. If you change the placement, I assure you there will be chaos. So we immediately thought that second pillar should be change readiness. We have to prepare ourselves for change. And the other thing is, see, I observed, just like you, I observed the chaos during the pandemic. Nobody was change ready for a pandemic in their nations or in the world. Nobody. And the third pillar, which is very important to me, is why we are collected here today. Why are we caring and doing what we do? It's because of sustainable impact. If we don't do something today, if we do not care today, there's not going to be peace tomorrow for the next generations. So there is, when we talk about our niche, right? What is a niche? A niche is a discipline, whether it's business or education or corrections or healthcare. We have certain words that we talk about. So there's a certain glossary that becomes very, very important. So HR, the field of HR, has a glossary. There are certain words that they use. So the customer, the employee, needs to understand these words. By the same token, if we are going to also add to our resumes that we are peace builders, that I am building that peace in the workplace through effective communication, through conflict resolution skills. We must also introduce this glossary to the workplace and in our personal life. So I want to use an example of Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa used to receive many letters. How can I come to you to help you? And her answer was, no, I don't need you here because I'm here. I need you there where you are to build peace. You get this. So this is called global. So this is a word that is a mixture of global and local. So we have this jargon, this glossary, these terms, right? The terminology. So global means that what you are currently doing, whether you realize it or not, will have an impact on this world. It is a ripple effect. So think globally, but act globally. You see, do what you can where you are planted. This is the nation. This is the culture that you have been divinely sent to, right? It's poet Khalil Gibran that says, children come through us, but not from us. So we have come here divinely sent. So we must act locally, whichever culture we are born into. We don't ask to be born. We are divinely sent here. So when you find your purpose and your passion, you see, those are the two most important days in your life. The first day is the day that you were born. The second day is the day that you realize your purpose and passion in life. So that's why we must embrace diversity. We have all find ourselves in different nations, interacting with different people. We must value this diversity. And how can we show our value? We show it through interculturalism. And what does interculturalism mean? It means that we must dialogue with each other to understand each other and accept each other. You see, it's one thing to observe. So, who is that person in that sari? Who is that person in that suit? That's the first step, because our eyes are observing. That's true. That's a given. But please approach the person, dialogue, have those dialogues with that person at the table. Now, here's a huge tip. If you see somebody who is different than you, this is my huge tip for you. This is the question that you can ask politely and respectfully. What is it about your culture that you would like me to know? You see, this way we are not imposing or disrespecting. You know, children, they don't know better, so they will go up to a person, they will say, who are you? What are you? Where did you come from? You know, it's like, you know, they think this person is from Mars or some other planet, right? But we are adults, so we have to behave like adults. So I think a very respectful thing to do is, what is it about your culture that you would like me to know? So given all of this, we're on the same page now. So I'm going to talk about two constructs that are coming out of this head brain and heart brain, so that both are together in sync. And those two constructs are perception, because our brain perceives all the time. It's just perceiving, perception, all the time. So what is the difference now? Two things, perception and perspective. So what you know, this knowledge that you have here, you are keeping it in your own head. That's true. But you are also wanting to knowledge share. But how can we do this knowledge sharing? We want to share what we know, but we have to do it respectfully. We have to do it through inclusive values. Okay, so this slide and next slide, we must take a look at the difference between perception and perspective. So perception is ingrained. It is created throughout these childhood stages. That perception is coming all the way from birth, early, middle, late childhood, adolescence, and early adulthood experiences, assumptions, beliefs, biases, and metacognition. So we've collected this schema, and this schema is in here. And our perception of people and places and things stems from this schema that has been created. The most important thing here is we have a certain way. Because of that schema, we have a certain way that we think. And that thinking can be either faulty thinking or growth thinking. You see, metacognition means that we are aware of how we think. And we must be aware of this individually as a team. How are we thinking as a team? And also as a company, how are we thinking as a company? So remember at the beginning of this presentation, I said, anything that you see on the slides, I want you to relate it to those three levels. How am I thinking? What is my metacognition? But then when, as a team, how is our metacognition? As a company, how is our metacognition? Now, here's the thing. A company will always have a mission and a vision. That is their metacognition. That mission and vision shows how that company thinks. Now, I'm going to encourage you as a team, as a department, take that company mission and vision and adopt this to make it your own. Then when you go home, take it to the individual level. How can this mission and vision become my own? Are my values embedded in this company mission and vision, right? So for me, yes, NCDA, APCDA, MCDA, all of these organizations that I lead have values, my values in their mission and vision. Now, let me tell you something. If your values don't match that company mission, you're going to quit. That's how important values are. You're going to search for a different company that shares your values. Your life sustenance, your life existence is based on values. They are in your head brain and they are in your heart brain. So one of our values as a collective, as a team right here today, is building peace. We want effective communication. We want conflict resolution in the workplace. We don't want people to quietly quit or loudly quit, right? You've heard of quiet quitting. There's also loud quitting. We want retention. We want to retain those wonderful employees that share our values. Okay, so am I doing good? Tell me in chat if you received this. And I'm seeing your emojis. Thank you so much for your emojis also. So now that we have perception, we have this piece. We must look at perspective. The perspective that you have is one perspective that's coming out of your perception. And guess what? Your perspective is 100% correct each and every time you are by yourself, with a team, or with a company. Yes? No? Absolutely. From your point of view, your heart brain, your heart is here, your heart brain, your head brain, to you, through your perception, will always tell you that you are 100% correct. This is an issue that needs awareness, and it takes intention to be willing to listen to somebody else's perspective. Maybe there will be insight one day when you are ready. There will be great insight where you will sit at the table and be able to listen very carefully to somebody else's perspective and say to yourself in your heart brain, you know what? My perspective may not be 100% correct. Between two people, you have two different perspectives, but you have to be willing to listen to somebody else's perspective. That is the difference. Our perception is coming naturally. It's coming immediately, flawlessly. It's there 24/7. But it's perspective that will take self-awareness, situational awareness, right? This is emotional intelligence. I'm bringing in Daniel Goleman's work, right? So this takes that situational awareness to question our executive thinking up here, the decision-making, the problem-solving, the change readiness. See, when we keep ourselves at the perception level alone, we are not ready for change. But we make ourselves ready for change through opening up our perspectives. And this is what learning entails, because that's what our brain does. It learns. And through intention and awareness, guess what? It can also unlearn those things that are not good for us, or those things that are not building peace for us. So we learn, we knowledge share. The people that gather here at HR WALAY, we love to share information, but the receiver has to be ready to receive that knowledge and to use that knowledge. This is a very key step in working together peacefully through effective communication. Now, listen to me, please. There will be people in the company that have the knowledge, but they will be hoarding the knowledge and they will be withholding the knowledge, right? So this is not very good perspective. If we value education, then we know we value knowledge. Then we must also value critical thinking and common sense. See, so some people in the workforce have it wrong. So they need to code switch. They need to just switch, slightly tilt their head little bit to this side, little bit to this side, so that they can get the picture that withholding information is not going to be good for the self, for the team, or for the company. Some people think if I share my information, then they will be successful. I will not be successful. And you are 100% wrong. Because a win for you is a win for all mankind. That's how you activate success. You activate success by helping others. When you help others, you help yourself. When you educate emerging leaders and the next generation, you are preparing that self-discovery, that change readiness, and sustainable impact. This is how you can meet the mission and vision of HR WALAY. Your values at HR WALAY are innovation. Innovation takes empathy. And in my book, I go one step further. I say empathy should be an ethic. This is ethical behavior in the workplace. Empathy, ethic. Be kind, be respectful, be open to other perspectives, because we are in the business of creating innovative models. And especially post-pandemic, we cannot go backwards. It's not going to work because this pandemic changed every single worker, every single employee, every single mother, father, and child. Our values changed. Workplace values as well as home values shifted. So we must use critical thinking and common sense. So when I bring this word up called change, people are thinking of their dimes and nickels, right, as the change that they have in their pocket or in their hand. You know, people just dread to think about change in their lives or change because, you know, our brain is telling us, well, it took me so long to get to this point. I went through early, middle, late childhood. Then I went through adolescence. I'm going through these life stages. It took me so long. Now I'm so proud of myself. I'm set in my ways and I have arrived. I'm such a good adult. So being set in your ways does not make you, that you have arrived to adulthood. These are also old models. And my ajoba in Marathi language means grandfather. My grandfather was so set in his ways, right? So what we don't want is being so set in stone that we lose sight of this constant change that's going on, because this is physics. This is the law of physics, is change is constant. So let go of these set ways, this faulty thinking. That's fixed thinking back here. Is fixed thinking versus growth thinking. So people will hold you back from activating success because they're thinking change is too hard, change is too risky, you see. So here in the Western Hemisphere, people are resisting that change because they're saying, but we spent millions of dollars in buildings. So people need to get back into these buildings that we spent all this money on. They're resisting remote work. But guess what the pandemic showed us? The pandemic showed us, first thing, employees can get their work done from home. They can take care of their families. They can be there to take care of their older parents, their younger children, also their pets as well. So a hybrid model will be needed. Yes, we want to use those buildings. Those buildings cost millions of dollars. But can there be a hybrid model? Perhaps 3 days in the building, 2 days at home. Is there a common sense balance? Can we understand the perspective? Now, here's another thing. In HR and in our field, career development, equality is a huge thing. Equity is a huge thing. I am a proponent of equality and equity, but I want you to have those candid conversations with your team, with your company. Look, is it okay if this case, we have this case study, this Mr. Johnny has older parents, younger children, and 3 pets. So is it okay with everybody if we give him 3 days to work from home and 2 days to come in the building? You see, the problem is pre-pandemic, everybody was coming to the table and they were so angry and we want equality, and how come he's getting 3 days and I'm only getting 2 days and it's chaos. So that's why we must have communication at the table. Look, is there somebody that can come to work 5 days? Bring in that empathy ethic to the table so that everybody understands what empathy ethic means. This is an ethical principle. Look, as a human being, as mankind, as humankind, yes, I can come to work 5 days. I understand if Mr. Johnny cannot come to work 5 days. That's fine with me. I'm not going to fight HR. I'm not going to fight. We have to have these candid discussions, because if we don't meet those individual needs, then we might lose this wonderful employee. Mr. Johnny may decide to leave our company. I'm giving you food for thought. So this is what perception looks like. One person may say, I see 4 things. Another person may say, no, I see 3 things. We are looking at this world differently. And we must not beat up our teammates, our colleagues, our husbands, our wives, because they are viewing something a different way. So first thing is, please explain to me how you are seeing 4 things. Instead of, no, there's 3 things because I see 3 things. This is the difference. Perspective is looking through somebody else's eyes. And this is a good visual for you, because most of the time we are only looking like this. This is what I know. This is what I believe. This is what I assume. This is how I think. But let's open it up. Explain to me your thinking. How did you arrive to that conclusion? Show me how the product will work if we do this your way. See, this is part of knowledge sharing. We must ask those questions instead of berate or belittle, instead of saying, we don't have the finances. Let's see how we can make this work. Let's see those different perspectives, right? So I want you to also take these principles home. You know, if our kids come to us and they say to us, look, I don't think I want to be a doctor because I'm fainting at the sight of blood. So how can I become a doctor? So let's do what we do best. Let's give our kids also the values inventory, the needs assessment, all of that. Let's see what their interests are. What are their skills? You know, maybe he may not be a good surgeon, but maybe he may be an excellent radiologist, or, you know, maybe she doesn't want to go into HR because mommy is in HR, but maybe she will make an excellent MBA, right? Or excellent CEO. So there's always things that interests that we are born with, and skills, natural skills and propensities that we are born with. I mean, look at Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg had a whole different interest. His parents were so furious when he quit Harvard, but he had a vision. So sometimes we can really learn from our children, and we should support them. And by the same token, we can learn from our subordinates. That front line can tell us so much. So I want you to print screen here, because these are things that I want you to really think about tonight before you go to sleep, or if it's the morning, really think about this. This is your homework. How do you feel about making a change for the sake of building peace, for the good of the many? What does change make you think of? Is there something in your workplace that needs changing? You see, peace begins with you. So this is the first pillar in my book, is self-discovery. You must introspect. Why am I having these feelings? Why are these feelings of discomfort coming up? Assess yourself first. So at the individual level, like I said before, the values are here. The values are here. At the team level, excuse me, you have strengths and interests. So you must capitalize on those strengths and interests that each team member has. And guess what? You have a team and colleagues at work, but your family is also a team, right? So this is Team Ali. This is Team Rana. This is Team Ives. Okay, we are a team, so we have to function through peace building. And the system will always push the policies and procedures, right? Otherwise, you get fired if you don't follow policies and procedures. That's a given. This is at the federal level. This is non-negotiable. So please follow your policies and procedures. But the finances, this is negotiable, right? So have those goal settings, everything, the way that I have done in my book. I take you through individual, I take you through team levels, and I take you through systemic levels. And for each chapter, I've given you activators. These are success activators because many people don't know where to start. So since you have been here, this is Saturday, on Monday, you can take these activators for chapter 10 and chapter 11. All these chapters, I want you to print screen because this is where you can start. So chapter 10, the activators are perspectives and dialogue. This is where you start Monday morning. Monday morning's meeting, we are going to talk about and discuss perspectives and dialogues. Tuesday's meeting, we are going to talk about legacy and impact, the next generations, succession planning. Wednesday, let's talk about observation and reflection. Thursday's meeting comes. Let's talk about how we're working together. Let's talk about this empathy ethic. Friday comes. Are we measuring our progress? Are we measuring our improvement? How are we improving at the individual level? How are we improving and measuring at the team level and at the systemic level? And the last chapter in my book is hope. We must never lose hope because once we lose hope, there is no Pakistan, there is no India, there is no America, there is no planet Earth. We must keep hope, giving hope through our head brain, through our heart brain, through our gut brain, because it starts with me. I am the first one that can cause peace in the workplace, in my family, and at work. So I see some chats here. We have some 8 chats, but please put in chat, what is your perception? What is your perspective at work, in your family? Think about a work project or a situation or a goal where you can use this information. Don't just take this hour and put it in your suitcase somewhere. Use the information that you have because I want to work with you. I am willing and ready to work together so we can both create fruitful values in your nation, other nations, and on this beautiful planet. So what have we done today? What we've done today is we've talked about those SDGs perception, perspective, change. My book, Activate Success. We also have a workbook here too that goes together. So please go to Amazon, please, because this is going to work for you. And you can please contact me. I'm on LinkedIn. I love to connect the dots and I love to connect nations. One other issue is this podcast link from NCDA, National Career Development Association. Please, today and tomorrow, as a family activity, please listen to this podcast, because I am talking with you today as not only an employee or part of HR WALAY. We are all workers, employees, but I'm also talking to you as a mother and as a daughter, as a friend. So I just implore you to bring your authentic selves to the table, make that change for a sustainable impact. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I look forward to being with you again soon.
Hi, Dr. How are you?
Good. Do you want to take some chat questions or comments, please?
Hello, Dr. Sujata. How are you?
Yes, hello. Hello, sir. Do you want
Uh,
to take some chat questions?
okay, you are required only chat questions, not voice, right?
I'm sorry, the chat and voice, please.
Okay. Firstly, I have to congratulate to you to write up a book for us, and we are hoping for the best that it will be, inshallah, will be a part of your book as well, and implement your worksheets, whatever you have provided to us. Secondly, madam, something I need to share with you regarding the organization behavior and culture. Somewhere you want to be apply yourself as a peace building in your organization, but the some people they are they oppose you, and they are starting some politics as well to remove you in the system of organization. So what we have to take a initiative on that time. Thank you.
Yes, very, very good question. Yes. So first thing that you want to do is make sure that you are speaking the language of the workplace. You must begin your sentences with the mission and the values, the vision of the company. So if the company has a certain mission and vision, then phrase your intentions and phrase your behavior and actions to match that mission and that vision. So, for example, for HR WALAY, I'm sorry, it is knowledge sharing, right? We don't want to hoard this information. Use that language. I'm here as a builder of knowledge and peace. I'm here as a builder of innovation and peace. You see, the back brain, if they hear different language that doesn't match the organization language, then fear and anxiety is going to transpire. Okay, so like I said before on the first slide, everybody wants peace. But in the workplace, the language is not peace building. The language is not peace builder. The language is effective communication and conflict resolution skills. So in this book, and please, I'm not just saying buy the book because I want the sales, but this is something that I saw. There is a deficit in the workplace. The workplace sometimes gives great emphasis for the system. That's first. Second, the team. Then the individual comes third. This is true. But in the book, I have told you how to go about effective communication and conflict resolution. So have that discussion with the team. Do we need more effective communication? How do we communicate? Set those ground rules. This is acceptable. This is not acceptable. You see, people start fighting the minute somebody else says, I disagree with you. The back brain goes into action and we become very defensive. Oh, he disagreed with me or she disagreed with me. Now, tell me more. That's very interesting. So approach it not defensively, but you be the change, right, that this world needs. And talk to your colleagues and also talk to HR and your company. I'm interested in implementing ground rules for effective communication and conflict resolution. How can I do that? I hope this answered your question. Thank you so much. That was a great question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sujata. Thank you very much.
Sure. Let's see, what are people saying in
Thank you
chat?
so much, Dr. Sujata.
Yeah.
What about Amparo? Amparo, could you please tell us about yourself, and is there any question you would like to ask? Because you also belongs to you also a professor. Amparo, can you listen to us? She's writing something. Okay. So it was a great session, Sujata, and we have learned great knowledge, especially the difference between the perspective and the perspective and the perception. It was a great difference due to our fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And I must definitely purchase your book along with the workbook as well. And I definitely, being an HR WALAY, because I am a great promoter of learning, and for my personal life, already have taken a lot of initiative to promote learning. And I definitely, after listening to you, I definitely collaborate with you on this work.
Yes.
And definitely, I will develop a team, and I'll promote in my for my people so that they can learn a lot of perspective.
Wonderful.
And this was my first initiative, and thank you so much for listening to me and accepted my request. It was a pleasure to having you on board. I would like to request Tariq Saab to share your complete name and email address. And Amparo, if you are listening, if you are hearing my voice, could you please share your complete name and email ID, because we issue a certificate of attendance here. And if you would like to talk about the session and feedback, you can. You have still 1-2 minutes.
Sir, I would like to thank you for thanks for you also that you are inviting us and encouraging us as well. And we are yeah, really thanks to you first also.
Sure.
And
yes, yes, Mr. Utley, if you want me to come and do a workshop in your workplace, if there is conflict, please reach out to me. I will be more than happy to do workshops.
sure, Dr.
Sure.
Sujata.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So nice of you.
And okay, thank you so much for everyone. Tarek and Paro, Dr. Sujata, and Dr. Zuhair also took time out and joined us. And YouTube also have a two audience as well there. So inshallah ta'ala, we will upload it and we will stay connected on the basis of learning. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Good luck for your book and
Thank
launch
you.
and learning. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.